as the journey continues to more captivating moments and surprises awaiting for you. In the world of learning, you stand tall. A principal, a leader, admired by all. You shape the future, you make dreams soar. A principal like you, we truly adore. Students and scholars, now it's time for the much anticipated annual report presentation. So, please join me in welcoming a dynamic personality who has been a CBSE District Coordinator for 4th consecutive year and CBSE District Training Coordinator for 3 consecutive years. She has extremely traveled to 4 different continents, whether it be Australia, New York, London or Singapore. So please join me in welcoming our esteemed Director Principal Shruti Gupta Madam on the stage.
So 9 lakh children, world's toughest examination, and Brilliant rises to an all-time high with 100 percentile and AIR 8th ranking with Dhruv Sanjay Jain. Brilliant sips its morning tea with Komal Mangtani's 10th board results of 98.8% state topper, Chhattisgarh state topper. Brilliant sips its evening coffee with Puneet Mandevar, the golden boy on his roller skates, 25,000 plus CBSE schools. Just a week before, he gets a gold, the shortest timer on roller skates. That's an annual report to be proud of. Yes, I am a proud principal, and I am somebody whom I believe that this is just because it is all possible because I have golden-hearted trust of all my parents over here. A big, big, big namaskar to all my parents who sit here with the trust that they bestow on Brilliant Public School. Thank you so much for being here and trusting with your best jewel in life by giving us your jewel in life to us. Thank you. My heartiest welcome to our very own SP sir, because your presence with all those medals on your shoulders and the reason we are all sitting over here safely is just because you are doing a wonderful task about the safety in the city. Thank you so much for gracing the occasion, and thank you for actually coming over here and giving time and little motivation to our children. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. A very warm welcome to all our glittering management, because they could have invested all this money in anything else on the world, but they chose education, and that's what is making our lives with such wonderful changes. So thank you so much for our glittering management, because all what they say is, Madam, agar ye bachon ke liye acha hai, so let's do it. So that's the kind of position we have in the school as educationists, because they just don't think for a second time and they go for it head on if it is good for our school. Thank you so much for being there in each and every thick and thin, and thank you for making such a brilliant management. This day is beautiful, of course. This day is lively. We have been talking about Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam all the time. We do talk about all these things because we want our children to understand this thing, that it is not about a boundary or a world with any boundary. Because today we live in an era which is exclusively boundaryless. We learn from the net, we teach from the net, and children have to understand, and we all have to understand that times are changing, life is changing, the alpha generation is around, and we need to really buckle up to gear up to them for an unpredictable future. So over here, it will not be that much of an annual school report, rather than I'm just going to make sure that I utilize my time, because I can speak to you as parents for a number of things. So on a very quick note, I would certainly turn around a few pages, because they have given me wonderful achievement list that we might have done for all this time, and these achievements are something which are not less. Every child is precious, every way they go ahead with wonderful achievements all the time. I'll just remind you of a small little thing. You are here because you are parents. जब ये बच्चा 6 months का था, Then at that stage something really painful had happened. वो फीवर में जब इसके सबसे सॉफ्ट पार्ट मसूड़ों में से दांत आ रहे थे, पेन होता था, हर्ट होता था. क्या हमने ये कहा कि पेन होता है तो दांत ना आए? We did not. It actually, this thing I just heard a week back and I was really flabbergasted. I said मेरे पेरेंट्स के साथ शेयर करेंगे हम ये बात. हमने rather ये सोचा दांत आने दो, पेन होने दो, जिंदगी भर बैठ के खाएगा. Isn't it? So this is what I'm trying to go tell you, that if there are little pains, please don't get deterred with that. Because if it is paining, that means it is working. So कभी-कभी जब teachers थोड़ा सा rough try करते हैं, go ahead with understanding and trusting us that if it will pain, it will work for your kid. If it pains, it will work for your kid. Believe in that. दवाई थोड़ी सी कड़वी होती है, but बहुत ज़रूरी होती है. We can be second mothers, but we cannot be mothers. We have to be teachers. So that trust you should always keep in your mind and never forget. कुछ भी कर लीजिए, आप diet plan ले लीजिए, it will pain and then only it will work. So be a part and parcel of that pain. And I really want you to understand one thing. जब सिंगापुर जाना हुआ तो as a community the whole country is working. Thinking schools, learning nations, बहुत गजब कैच लाइन है और पूरा कंट्री उस लेवल पे काम कर रहा है. मैं और आप क्या कर सकते हैं? मैं और आप अभी के टाइम पे we have to understand this very deeply. We are very strong on our social emotional learning. SEL के पीछे दुनिया पागल हो रही है and we have its खजाना. We in India have it in all its luxuries. So socio emotional learning पे Brilliant has already been working. We have been working in anger management, stress management, we have been talking about meditation, we have been making the children practice meditation on and often, and we go ahead with social emotional learning like anything. You make sure that at home you do give them exposures with their grandparents, because social emotional learning in a joint family with grandparents or in small families with your storylines can happen wonderfully. So social emotional learning is the key to tomorrow's citizen. Because all the knowledge today is digitally available. Even you talk about digital levels, already you know very well 70% of our teachers are Microsoft certified innovative educators. We already have a glitterati of artificial intelligence led robotics. You could even see 3D printer today, they have kept it outside. There are a lot of things where World Robotics Olympiad and other kind of Olympiads and astronomy Olympiads, and even for commerce we have Olympiads. All these things are running around in the school. But if at all we do not give the child the resilience and the flexibility and the empathy to collaborate, to meet with people, to go ahead with working in a team, it just won't work. So these are the things that we are actually working on, and we really want you to understand that when we go ahead into social emotional learning, the sky is the limit. And that's what makes a winner stand out. So this is something that I really want you to understand. And I'm sure when you will realize this, you will be able to see these UN SDG goals that we have over here. 17 UN SDG goals, they form the core of our curriculum at Brilliant Public School. These SDG goals are target 2030 for the world, but your children are talking about it at each and every level. If we don't get sensitive to these UN SDG goals, it just doesn't work with us. So these are the things at which we really are looking forward. I would like you to even understand one very strong thing that Brilliant is doing. We talk about pedagogy. I'm not sure how many of you actually belong to the education fraternity, but पढ़ाने के तरीके को pedagogy कहते हैं. Then we come to andragogy. Andragogy, I'm sure थोड़ा बहुत जो भी मोबाइल चलाता है वो जानता है एंड्रॉइड पे चलता है, उसको andragogy कहते हैं, जो कि आपने देखी है कि आजकल बच्चे मोबाइल पे टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग प्रोसेस करते हैं. Let us not undermine it. ये reality है. Let us accept it. We in the corridors of Brilliant are on to the next level. We are practicing heutagogy. Now what is this heutagogy? Not a fancy term, or it's just a fancy term. We need to understand it at 3 levels. We need to give our children independence in learning. We have to increase them in capacity and capability. This we do it in live. And how we do it when we organize such events and we go ahead with telling the children, your event, your choices, your decisions, you carry it forward. And we did it live with Model UN sessions done in the school. We did it live with CBSE sessions of sports. When my children over here, they were there with the children, 52 schools of CBSE, 3 states, school organizing a CBSE event, and one to all, A to Z, things being organized by the children of the school. And that's where I say it is pedagogy, because it's no joke. We deal with hormones, and we deal with children of adolescence, and we deal with, and it is sometimes, it does test our patience to the best levels. But believe me, parents, when you give them that liberty, when you give them that trust, the way they respond, that's the level of education to which we are trying to bring. It is not just about spoken English. It is not just about only disciplining. It is not just about course completion, chapter finishing, and all those things. These projects are going to go ahead with taking your child to the next level. Because if the child will know how to research on his or her own, how to pick up the relevant text or the relevant material, how to implement it, the whole capacity increases, the capability increases, and then we talk about the next level of education, which is pedagogy. So you must, I just, all in all, what I wish to make you understand is, these projects are not small things. When you see every small little child coming over here, speaking and talking and interacting, these children have really practiced for hours. 1,400 children today you will witness. 1,400 children on the stage. I'm not talking about total strength of the school, which is 5,500 plus. But I'm talking about today, 1,400 children will come on the stage. And they are going to perform, and you see how wonderfully they have actually scheduled themselves, how patiently in 12 noon, daylight with the sun at its best, they were sitting over here and they were practicing. They are your children. Have you ever seen them doing this at home? I'm sure you will envy us for this. And there are wonderful stories. If I start telling you all, I think I can go on and on and on. But yes, when we talk about ultra learning, we do talk about understanding from our children. Dear parents, you need to also just fix affects. I'm sure you all know. And you know, क्या होता है, हम सोचते हैं हमें सब पता है, but हमें मानना नहीं है, तो वो भी एक अलग ही beautiful thought process है. But एक छोटी सी चीज़ है. It is not about talent. It is about that hunger that makes that successful child stand out of everybody else. Because India is populous. Talent is in every corner, every corner, every corner. We need to, you and me, we need to teach our children to be passionate, children to succeed. They have to do their things to the best, something more than what anybody can expect us to do. So that should be the hunger and passion that we should bring into our children. And that's what we at Brilliant Public School are trying. And I think today SP sir would be really happy to know that my children are doing very well through NCC in the Tal Sena camp. They have been selected for shooting. Best cadet Satviki, she has already got a medal for best cadet and is selected for the RDC. So there is a NCC unit, and they are working very actively as per the directives of the NCC. So it's just not about discipline, it is about that grit, that energy, that persistence, that sense of my nation, my country, I am the stakeholder, I can make a difference, and it all begins from me. That's the kind of level that we wish your children to understand. All in all, what I really want my children to do, to think about today is we over here are also doing the highest number of teacher trainings. So all the parents should be, happy to know that. Because when we talk about highest number of trainings, it is about almost, you will see, many teachers who have spent 1 or 2 decades with us. So that's the level of seniority that we have. At the same time, we keep appointing because we don't even believe in a big generation gap. We need to oxygenate the system. Oxygenation is only possible when we have the new and the old both together. And that's something which is very unique to Brilliant, because when we create our standards and we train the teachers, and that too to the level of almost 2 trainings per month, that's where we stand together as Brilliant Public School. You would hardly see the teachers falling apart because of the standards of training we constantly have, because there is no other way but to train the trainers. And we in Brilliant Public School, we just don't train ourselves, we go ahead with training all the other schools in the district as well as beyond. So there are many places where we go ahead with coordinating with our schools, because we are already a lead collaborator of Hub of Learning, which is about 4 or 5 schools given by CBSE to us, so that we can go ahead with hand-holding them and guiding them further. I'm sure you will be happy to know this. Just 3 things, and then I put an off on that. We have certain unique ways of meeting you all. Annual Day is one of it. You would also be glad to know we have begun with coffee with parents already. We have people who, we have lovely boot camps with the parents, and we also go ahead with, no, I'm okay, thank you. So we also go ahead with the ERP through NTAB. Any parent can give us a message anytime. The school mails are checked each day. Parents can send their mails and they will be responded through their mails at all the times. Front desk maintain very regular registers, so all parent communications are meticulously mentioned into the registers, and those are seen by us particularly each day, like Gita and Bible. So your word is being read and your word is being respected in the school. So this is something that we all, I'm sure you will be happy to know. And yes, there are 3 pillars of parenting: self-regulation. And why I'm touching on these 3 pillars of parenting, because I really want you all to stay away from WhatsApp University. As parents, छोटा सा ग्रुप बना लेते हैं. I must understand, you must understand, ये जैसे ये 5 उंगली एक जैसे तो नहीं है ना. So आपका एक्सपीरियंस, आपके बच्चे का एक्सपीरियंस स्कूल के साथ डिफरेंट होगा. Don't judge the system by the experience of some other person. Use your mind. And SP sir मेरे साथ होंगे इस चीज़ को लेके. कोई भी गड़बड़ होती है सिटी में, सबसे पहले WhatsApp को बैन कर देती है गवर्नमेंट भी. So this is something that we have to check, and we need to make sure that we understand the system through our own lens. What is most important is आप आएँ, आपका स्वागत है. आप आएँ 1:30 बजे के बाद आएँ. After the school gets over, meet the teacher, because जब वो क्लास में होगी तो नहीं मिल पाएगी. Go ahead, meet the teacher after 1:40. Interact with the teacher. Make sure that you ask the correct person for the correct thing. So you will be heard. Just don't go ahead with self-regulation is very important. बच्चे के सामने अगर आप regularly गलत language use करेंगे, मोबाइल को continuous use करेंगे, it just won't help. Second thing जो मुझे आपसे चाहिए और बिल्कुल चाहिए वो है positive reinforcement. कोई मारपीट नहीं बच्चे के साथ. Positive reinforce करिए without any comparison. The third point, go ahead with unconditional love. चाहे जो result आए, accept the child, no comparison with anybody. Go ahead with making sure that you accept the child and tell the child, yes, you respect him the way he is. Because if at all I talk about gold medalist Puneet Mandewar of this school, who is a living legend over here, if at all his mother would have pressurized him only and only to academics, तो सोचिए क्या ये gold medal आ पाता? नहीं. So this is something that you need to believe in the child, trust in your child. आपके स्कूल में sports हैं, 17 club activities हैं, artificial intelligence, robotics है, you have plethora of activities. Humanities we have already begun, commerce we are already teaching, science was always there, and we are doing very well in all the 3 domains. We are doing extremely well in all other places where CBSE science exhibitions are concerned, where Model UN exposures are concerned, where Himalayan expeditions are concerned. So you have plethora of options. Talent को पहचानिए अपने बच्चे को, उसको motivate करिए, and just tell your kids, no results, keep working. Bad results, keep working. great results. Still keep working. Consistency is the only key. Just make sure कभी भी ये मत सोचिए अरे ये हर बार पार्टिसिपेट करता है ये तो नहीं मिल रहा है इसको कुछ. That's not the it just don't make those shallow levels of achievement. Make sure he's happy from inside, she's happy from inside, just for the reason of participation. Winning and all those things, life बहुत बड़ी है, आपने मैंने देखी है, बच्चे को देखनी है, negativity से दूर रखिए. So that's the only thing. And this is something that I would really ask, और मैं सर झुका के, और from all parents I will ask from him, because गजब का शरूर है सर झुकाने का. सिर ज़मीन पे झुकता है और दुआएं आसमानों में कबूल होती हैं. सो मैं इसी अधिकार से आप सबके सामने सर झुका के आपका समय आपके बच्चों के लिए मांगती हूँ. They don't need your money and facilities as much as your time. प्लीज़ उनको अपना टाइम दें. हम आपके साथ खड़े हैं, आपके लिए खड़े हैं, आपके बच्चों के लिए खड़े हैं. एंड बिलीव मी, हर वो चीज़ जो आपके बच्चे के लिए ज़रूरी है वो हम करेंगे. सो विद दैट ट्रस्ट I thank once again to my graceful management for giving us all the auspicious possibilities and to make sure that we can unveil the magic of childhood so beautifully. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Chhattisgarh.